I want to talk about something that I think can really help all of us using drawing as a way to relieve stress. I believe that taking a few minutes each day and drawing can make a big difference in how we feel. It's not about being a great artist, but about taking some time for ourselves. We're all busy during the week, right? Work piles up, personal responsibilities are always there, and it can feel like we're constantly playing catch up. I've been there too, feeling overwhelmed by deadlines and to do lists that never seem to end. It's easy to get sucked into the cycle of stress and anxiety. These pressures can affect our mental health, making it hard to sleep, hard to focus, or even enjoy the things we usually love. It's like our minds are constantly racing, and it's hard to find a moment of peace. I think that's where drawing comes in, as a simple way to calm our minds. We've all got things on our plates, whether it's work or personal stuff. It lets and let's not forget social media. Comparing our lives to others can be super stressful. It feels like everyone else has it together and we're just trying to keep up. So, how can drawing help with all of this? Well, there are lots of ways to draw, and you don't have to be a pro. Some people like doodling. I draw a lot on this channel where I just doodle and scribble and see what shapes emerge. And then others like sketching, which is a little bit more in depth, a little bit more values added, shading, and subject matters are a little bit more thought out. But it's basically the same thing. And some enjoy coloring too. And if you can combine all of those, more power to you. The idea is to find something that works for you. Now, for me, it's always just been pencil to paper. When I was growing up, I had a lot of different ideas and things that I wanted to try out, whether it's marker, acrylic paints, oil, pastel, whatever. But it just seems that it just seemed that when I had paper, printer paper, whatever, and a pencil, I was happiest. I felt more at ease and more less stressed than I've ever felt before just by drawing. And in that, I found that drawing can be very meditative. I get lost in the moment. And this is just for me personally. So maybe those of you listening right now can relate to this. When I'm drawing, I get lost in the moment and my worries just fade away. It's like a mini vacation from the stresses of everyday life. For me, drawing has been a game changer. Every day, I've noticed a big difference. All of us have an outlet that we need to do, and I've mentioned this before. I feel more relaxed and focused when I'm drawing, and I'm able to tackle challenges with a clearer mind. I started with just a few minutes a day. Of course, when you're young, that's all your attention span really allows. But as the skills grow, you'll be able to acquire a little bit more patience, and you can see the difference in your drawing skills, which makes you want to draw longer. And for me, this helped me unwind. I'd draw whatever, and whatever came to mind. Simple shapes, patterns, or even scribbles. I'm a grown man, I still scribble. So it was pretty cool because I used to want to be a paleontologist. I was obsessed with dinosaurs. So naturally, guess what I was drawing? Dinosaurs. And I would draw the bones, I would draw the skin, fur, scales, spikes, everything. And then I started to put everything together. And this was just myself doing it. So I didn't go to art school until pretty much high school. I was performing arts and then in college for industrial design. But the love of drawing was always there. So I feel like, not to go off on a side tangent here, but school helped me release even more inner skill that I didn't know I had. And that's just with thumbnail sketching, with perspective, and line cleanliness. So the more I drew, the more I realized that it wasn't just about creating art, it was about taking care of myself. And it's a way to show myself that that I'm worth taking a break. Everybody is. All of you listening right now, it's worth it to take a break. You got to listen to your body, you got to listen to your mind. Because if you're not feeling well and you feel overwhelmed and anxious and, like the world's crashing down around you, whatever the act may be to relieve stress, do it. Okay? If you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, I encourage you to give drawing a try. It can be just 5 to 10 minutes a day. That's all it takes. And you might be surprised at how it makes you feel. Even those of you listening right now that feel like you're not a very good artist or that you're absolutely terrible at it. And that's totally fine because that happens. So if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, I encourage you to give drawing a try. Hey, if drawing doesn't work out, then so be it. But I can guarantee at least one thing with drawing. You're probably going to find out things about yourself that you didn't know you could do. And drawing is one of them because getting images from your brain onto paper may be something that you've never done before or felt that you've never been able to do. 5 to 10 minutes per day. That's all it takes. And incorporating drawing into your weekly routine can be a simple and effective way to manage stress. It's not about adding another task to your list. Okay, it's about finding a moment of peace. So let me get into that a little bit. One thing that I ask my students and mentees all the time is, do you like the idea of being an artist or do you actually like doing the art? And yeah, it's possible to feel both. But I hate to break it to you. If you feel like you just want to be one, then maybe drawing's not for you. Maybe it's not. Or maybe you're going to give yourself a chance here. Maybe you feel like you've always wanted to be an artist, but you can never just sit down and actually get that sketchbook, get that, patience to do it, or get that sketchbook out of your closet that's been collecting dust or on your bookcase or whatever. See what it feels like to draw, see what it feels like to put 5 to 10 minutes of your day into drawing, and you might be surprised at what you were able to create. So the things that I have been scribbling on the page here, you can see it's a collection of random lines and also overlapped lines followed by some value added in. But there's not a lot to this. I'm not spending hours on any of the shapes, adding feathers and scales or whatever. These are more of getting cool shapes out, forming critters that I didn't know could exist, and maybe giving me some later ideas that I'll just keep in my sketchbook in case I want to start a new personal project or a story or whatever. And then the other exercise that I do is starting here where I'm doing very fast scribbles, and I want all of you to try this too. So get out your notebook paper, get out your iPad or whatever, and see if you can do this also. Just start scribbling a bunch of shapes together and not worrying about what you think that they should end up as. Instead, have fun with it. Maybe you'll do some kind of demonic entity, some kind of alien being from another dimension, who knows? And just keep going. But one thing that I do want you all to do is document your work. So let's say that you're going to give yourself a new task, okay? 5 to 10 minutes each day for 30 straight days. And number your sketches, but also date the page that you do all these on. And look at your journey that you take from day 1 to day 30. And sketch number 1 is probably going to look very different than sketch number, 15,000, however many you sketch, okay? The number of doodles doesn't matter for this particular exercise. But the other thing that I encourage is to check the links in the description below for our Creature Design Workshop Discord, where you actually can post your progress. Okay, because I'd love to hear about your experiences. I would love to hear and see your experiences too, with drawing and the stress relief. So, have you ever used drawing to calm down? Comment below if you've ever done that. And what are some other ways that you like to unwind? Let me know in the comments. Also, check out my other videos where I go over creative outlets and I'm talking about anxiety in the sketchbook, using drawing and art to relieve that. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist. Okay, so this is not psychological and therapeutic advice here. I'm just giving you my point of view on what I have done and from what I have seen help others in the past. Okay. So it's been a fun journey drawing. I've been doing it all my life and I do not plan to stop. So I encourage all of you to use this to your advantage. The time is now. Jump in there, get your sketchbooks, and I really can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.